Hi guys, in my last video I built a small rock tumbler using inexpensive materials and no real knowledge on rock tumbling. If you haven't seen that video yet, I suggest you go watch that one first. When we left off, I had the tumbler filled with a few rocks, some abrasive, and water, and set it to run for a week. So let's jump back in now. Well, here the tumbler's been going for 24 hours now, and no leaks. Everything seems to be running as it should. Just gonna check quick temperature of the motor. Motor's running about 40 to 44 degrees. That's about what it's been running since yesterday. And this I think is 100% duty cycle at 12 volts. We're only running 6 volts, so I think that should be fine. I'm gonna keep monitoring the temperatures, but I'm sure it'll run for a while. So I'm gonna let this go even longer and check back again, and maybe after a week I'm gonna open it up and see what those rocks look like. I'm just gonna write on this chart here what day we're at. So this is day 1. Day 2. Okay, it's now day 3. And you'll notice that it's not running right now. I don't know how long ago this happened, but I came down and the drum wasn't turning. And if I grabbed the drum here, it was sort of stuck in tight against the grooves here. The drum is really wearing out. It's getting really soft and thinner. So this is something I suspected was going to happen, that it would start to wear down. So I'm going to open this up and take a look at the rocks and see if anything's happened other than just wearing out the drum. And also I'm seeing some metal dust in the corner there. I don't know if the shaft started to wear. Maybe when that got jammed up, it really messed up the shaft with the amount of torque that's in that motor. So I'm going to take that apart and see what's going on. Alright, so we can see here, just ever so slightly, it did wear that shaft right down. That's obviously not very good. So I may have to remake that shaft, and I'm going to leave it longer so that I'll get a little more meat in there. You can see here it was only grabbing on by about 1/4 inch. So if you look at the motor, it should be able to go right across there about 2 inches. So I'll do that. I'll remake that shaft longer, and it should resist stripping, hopefully. Okay, so here we are again. I made up a new shaft. You can see here, this time I made it fit all the way through right to the other side. So now we've got all of this surface area to give it some extra strength so it doesn't strip. I also took my time and filed it down by hand, the finish filing, so it's really snug. I had to pound that on with a hammer, so we should have lots of engagement. If it strips this, we'll have to go to like a B7 rod or something stronger. This is just a grade A or grade 2 mild steel, so I'm going to put that on, and we'll start everything back up. We'll continue on with day 3 and see how it works out with less abrasive in there, and see what the results look like. Alright, so now that new shaft is in place, I've got the motor connected. This time I reversed the polarity on the motor. What happened the last time was this shaft turned this way towards the inside of the drum, and what happened was, as the plastic got soft, it ended up getting jammed in between the two shafts. So by reversing the polarity, this is going to turn the opposite way, which will lift the barrel out. It's a little tricky getting the barrel on because it wants to just throw it out, but once it's on, it seems to be fine. So I'm going to consider this the continuation of day 3. I'm going to go the rest of the day tomorrow we'll consider that day 4, even though I don't see a whole lot done to those rocks yet. We'll keep going for the rest of the week. We'll go 7 days, and then we'll have a look, see what it looks like. Okay, it's been 7 days, so we're just going to take a little peek in there and see what's happening. Well, it seems like some of them are getting a little smoother. I'm not seeing a big difference, but I can tell the grit has really broken down. Doesn't seem very aggressive anymore. So I think I might change out this water for some clean stuff and some new grit, and we'll give it another week probably. Check it every couple of days, but I'm not seeing a ginormous difference yet, so we'll go a little longer. Well, now it looks like our drum finally wore through and all the grit and water leaked out. I taped it to try to hold it a little longer, but I can see there it's definitely broken. So I'm going to pull those rocks out and I'll have to find another drum to put them in. Okay, so it seems that trial 1 was a bit of a failure, which I'm okay with. It happens. So I did a little research, and obviously my drum wasn't strong enough, but I did see on another channel that somebody is using these big coolers. They use bigger ones than this, but this is a half gallon, so 2 liter cooler. So I'm going to give that a try. It'll probably still wear out, but it'll take a heck of a lot longer. So I'm going to do that. And then my second problem was just the amount of rocks that I had. Got them all here. Just tilt that. So this is all the rocks that I had, which is the little handfuls that I managed to find in the backyard. And the way they were going, like, they're starting to round out a little bit, but it would take probably a year at this rate, just kind of sloshing around with the sand, basically what happens on the beach. So that would take a long time. And I guess the rule of thumb is to fill your drum at least 2/3 of the way. So obviously I'm going to need even more rocks for the bigger drum. So I got all these. So that should be more than enough, I hope anyway. If not, I'll grab some more. And the reason for this, I believe, is just the sheer weight of the rocks rubbing against each other with the abrasive will make them tumble a lot quicker. So I'm going to, in order to fit the new drum on this base, you can see it's, oh, you can't see there. As you can see, it's not going to fit. So I'm going to take the pieces here off, and I'm going to make a new base that's a lot longer. I'm going to have to remake the shafts as well. but we're gonna fit up this bigger drum. So I'm gonna start on that now. Okay, that off now. I'm gonna rebuild this part and we'll see how the new setup works. Quick test to see if it fits. Perfect. So now I'm going to stain this just like the other one, and while that's drying I'll make up the new shafts. Okay, so now that that's dry, we're going to start assembling again. Okay, so we're back together and I've got the power supply hooked up. So we're just gonna give that a go and see how this new drum works. I'm not sure if the spacing of the two shafts is gonna be enough. Maybe I'll have to move at least one of them out, but we'll give it a try first. Okay, so that's with no load on. I'm going to fill it up with rocks and we'll see if the motor has enough torque to keep turning it. Wow, it looks like we have more than enough rocks. So, see there, I've got it a little over 2/3. Let's go 2/3 there, full. Alright, so I've got some water here and I'm going to fill that up just to the top of the rocks. So this is already much better than my peanut butter jar. Now I've got the lid here, but in the video that I saw the guy using this, he mentioned that these leak and he used a plastic bag to seal it off. I don't plan on ever using this, so I'm going to use hot glue and just fill up the two little holes here and see if that helps. And I'm also going to put some Teflon tape around like I did on the peanut butter jar to get a better seal there. Okay, so now I'm going to add some grit. Again, I'm not going to measure, but I know it's just a few tablespoons. So I'll throw that in there. There. And I'm gonna put the lid on. You can see here I sealed it all with hot glue inside and out. Is that up tight? Okay. Let it go. Going, making a lot more noise than before. I have to keep an eye on the temperature of that motor, make sure it doesn't overheat. So I'm going to set that up on the floor. So I'm going to set that up on the floor like I did before, let it run for a couple of days. Before I do that, I'm just going to stick a sticker on there and see what the RPM is now with this bigger diameter. And I might have to add a roller so that it doesn't get caught against the wood here, but we'll see. Well, maybe I'll put a felt pad so if it does rub, it doesn't cause too much friction. So yeah, I'm gonna test the RPM and then set it up on the floor and let it go for a couple of days again. Okay, so here goes attempt number 2, day 1. Stay tuned for my next video to see how this attempt turned out. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and click the subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any videos I put out. Thanks for watching.